Mahila, this is part of our secret section where we go real motherfucking deep, real quick. Now, kings, they do a full circle, and it's not just that they defeated the fallen angels, it's that they circle back to complete all of their needs that were taken away, because their children represent Hydra. You cut off one head, another head appears. So they take care of that. It's all accounted for and recompensed. They they get it all in their tribe like gangs of New York. That's their Asher. And then they're like a wolf because a vampire bites. Vampire bites the neck and makes multiples. They're like the wolf, like they're the pure animal. Like they keep to themselves. They're not easily killed. Like they're not like a machine, and they're not like something that would spread. Like they wouldn't spread around. So then, um, that's their children, and then their wives. They would show their love and their strength. And war is for the women. That's what war is for. It's for the women. So when we got involved in World War II, it was because we were against how they were making their German women. And we were against how Italy was making their women. Like, we had a complex view because we didn't like the Vatican, but we didn't like Mussolini. And we knew that the Holocaust had to be done for everyone's writings to count, for the gravities and for the martyrs to get to the Revelation 22 to be Steve Oshevsky or Oshusky. And that the Ephesus, a whole lot of stuff was going on. We saw a whole lot of dinner in Ephesus. Instead of doing each of the 7 churches or each of the chapters of Revelation. And that we would get the millstone and everything. We would get it without having to do millions and millions. So we had a complex view because we knew that had to get done, but we didn't like Hitler. We didn't like the Vatican. And Russia was getting the most of it done. Okay, Russia was getting the most of it done. So that we could essentially speed things up. And all the destruction of France was to clean house of those spirits from the guillotines, which also got a lot done. So it was for the women to show, hey, we K'd the women. If you K the women, then it speed things up. That's what war is. That's what war is. So David, God said, go and restore all. Get your 2 wives. Get both of them. Because they were talking about the children, and the wife. That's what they were talking about. So, because to David, his children, his Asher, was his wife. Okay? And why is that? Why is that? Because it was Abigail. It was Abigail was one of his wives. And they were saying that he got the devil out with a 12:9. That not only did he conquer the fallen angels, he got the devil out of heaven. And his circle of life was a hurricane. And you say, well, Brock, why was it a hurricane and not the Rafiki? Well, it was a hurricane because he spent a lot of time with the giants. And that's why all of his men were each one of those scientific tribes. Like one was evolution, one was, like basically any type of spirit weapon that you can get in the spirit is. And remember, Jesus cast she cast her 30 pieces to the potter. So when I was at the line at Burger King and said in my video, I wonder when Jesus her stuff's gonna hit. Her stuff is the hit. Her stuff is the hit. Okay. So and that's the Charlotte Patrick list. So whenever he did the hurricane, because he was living like a Cain. He was living like a fugitive. And he was under Saul too. And what they tell him? Hurry, hurry. Take the throne. Hurry, hurry. Put on the armor. And he said, no, I didn't prove that. He said, I'm a kid. I didn't prove that. And because of Joab, he said those sons, they're too hard for me. They're mafia, man. Those sons are mafia. That was his hurry. That was his hurry. And because he said, oh, and because of Absalom, I got this scar on my pinky. See if you can see it. Can you see it? because it was hurry because Absalom tried to get him out of his own kingdom. And because that's what Rehoboam did to David's son Solomon. He said, "My pinky." He goes, "My pinky." And that was how David was connected to Solomon. That was how David was connected to Solomon. And that's the Psalm 72. Because he was G of who was under him. He was G of who was under him. Just like Rehoboam and just like Absalom. And Rehoboam, what's that mean? You say, Brock, what's that mean? Rehoboam, wasn't he all right though? Wasn't he all right? And and what you end up with that is that it's connected to the aliens of the little green aliens in the Toy Story that have the claw. The claw gets them out. And what that means is it's Rehob is that they're G. They're G. And it's OM because it's because it's idol. I'm talking about idol worship is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about idol worship. And see, when David stopped fighting, when David didn't go to battle, that's he wasn't a G. He didn't go to the battle. Then that's when Absalom came in. And whenever it was 72, it was because he was doing the idol worship, and he was starting to doubt God in the galaxies. He was doubting God in the galaxies. So you say, what's that mean? And it's like gal, axe, gal greater than the burdens. So we need burdens to equal M, right? You need burdens to equal M, like Judi Dench. So how do you get a Judi Dench out of burdens? So it's um, BU is 6, right? BU is 6. Or 4, which is Q. Den, which is the lion. And S, which is the money penny. So what's the lion have to do with Judi Dench? You say, well, I guess because